Peak oil is a theory that goes like this. The global production of oil will hit its peak and then start to decline. Now, it doesn't mean the world will run out of oil, but it means is that the world will run out of cheap oil. The idea has been around since the mid-50s. Back then, a Shell oil geologist named Marion King Hubbard predicted that U.S. oil production could hit its peak in the early 1970s. Well, remember that oil shock back in the 70s? It's nothing compared to what supporters of the peak oil concept think we're in for once the decline starts. Economic collapse, geopolitical conflict, and the end of your lifestyle as you know it. Here's why. The U.S. consumes about a quarter of the world's oil production. It's used for everything from transporting food to manufacturing DVDs. But demand in China and India is increasing. I mean, they do account for 1/3 of the world's population. So if China's consumption rate holds, then by about 2030, it'll guzzle as much oil as the U.S. does today. Factor in the rest of the planet and their growth and their needs, and what you've got is increasing demand and shrinking supply of a finite resource. OPEC is the source of about 40% of the world's oil, and while it doesn't set the price, it does determine how much gets produced, and that more or less determines the cost. And the price per barrel is getting higher. The record so far, about $58 US. Both the IMF and the CIBC have warned of $100 barrels. One of the world's leading energy analysts says that could happen in the next 3 years. As for a date when we could hit peak oil, well, that's hotly debated and hard to determine, but depending on who you talk to, it could happen sometime between the next year and 2020.